It started with a party game, never have I ever. Lainey, my husband Nolan's childhood girl bro, locked eyes with me from across the room, a sickly sweet smile on her lips, plucked a hair from Nolan's, asterisk down there asterisk. The room erupted in laughter. For me, Corinne Davenport, it was the sound of my 2-year marriage cracking apart. Her gaze lingered on me for a moment too long before she finally covered her mouth in mock horror. Oh my god, wifey, I didn't mean to mess things up between you and Nolan. I mean, that's why I waited 2 years after you got married to say anything, you know. The air froze. Nolan reached over and tugged at the strap of her dress. It snapped back with a sharp thwack. Stop talking nonsense in front of your sister-in-law. Lainey clutched her shoulder, laughing as she swatted at him. You're still a pervert, even with your wife watching. The room filled with forced cheer again. Everyone conveniently forgot my discomfort. I could understand. They were probably all drunk. Alcohol poisoning, perhaps, so I smiled, stood up, and poured my glass of deep Cabernet Sauvignon directly onto Lainey's head. She shrieked. Her hands flew up to push me, but before she could leap to her feet, her white top was soaked in blood-red wine. Nolan shot up from his seat. Corinne, are you insane? I let the empty glass drop from my hand. It shattered on the floor. In front of everyone, I held up a single, elegant finger. Never have I ever drenched Lainey Sutton's precious top. The private room fell silent. You could have heard a pin drop. Nolan ripped off his jacket and held it in front of Lainey's chest, his face a mask of fury. She hid behind him, her eyes red with tears. Wifey, even if I said something wrong, you didn't have to get physical. I theatrically covered my own mouth. We're just playing a game. I didn't mean to get physical at all. I mean, I wouldn't have done it if we weren't in the middle of a game, you know. Nolan's face was a thundercloud. That's not how you play the game. Perhaps my stare was too direct. After a few seconds, he looked away, his tone softening. That was all in the past. We were all young and wild once. It's just a game. Lainey loves to joke around. Don't take it so seriously. I picked up my purse from the coat rack. I'm going home now. You can either come with me or you can stay here and comfort her. In a room full of his friends, I gave Nolan Adler zero face. Lainey clutched the wrinkled jacket, handing it back to him with a show of understanding. You should go, Nolan. Your wife's already this mad. If you stay, who knows who she'll go after next. Her words sent a subtle ripple through the crowd. I beamed. Whoever touched another woman's husband, that's who, even if they said it was a long time ago. The thought was still disgusting. Nolan followed me to the car retrieval, his silence thick with anger. After we got married, there have been no other women in my life besides my mother, Lainey, and I grew up together. She finally came back from abroad for a reunion, and I even brought you with me. Corinne, what more could you possibly be unhappy about? While we waited for the designated driver, he finally broke. After roaring, he slumped, letting out a soft, drunken snore. The parking garage was vast and empty. The driver arrived on a sleek, foldable e-scooter. I forced myself to breathe evenly. Don't argue with a man who's had too much to drink. It's pointless. The next morning, the clanging of a spatula woke me up. Nolan, wearing an apron, beamed at me. Morning, honey, wash up. Breakfast is ready. I made your favorite side dishes. He had a strange constitution. A little alcohol would get him drunk, but he sobered up just as quickly. That's why he begged me yesterday, whining like a big dog. Please come with me, honey. What if I get too drunk and someone kidnaps me? A reunion with his childhood friends. A few extra drinks were inevitable, but I hadn't expected to see the unfamiliar face of Lainey Sutton there. When she saw me, her smile was sickeningly sweet. So this is the wifey. She's so beautiful. Nolan's taste has definitely improved since we were kids. Her very first words to me were a blatant provocation. I didn't respond to Nolan's post-hangover enthusiasm. He followed me, his voice laced with apology. Honey, I'm so sorry. I was drunk and did something stupid yesterday. Punish me however you want. So you remember exactly what you did yesterday? Nolan's expression froze. After a long pause, he put on a look of remorse. We're all old friends. We got a little carried away after drinking. Honey, I'll learn my lesson. It won't happen again, okay? He led me to the table, bowing with his hands clasped. I went out first thing this morning to buy groceries. I made you bitter melon with stuffed eggs and an asparagus and mushroom stir fry. Try some, honey. It'll help you cool down. You can punish me after breakfast. As he spoke, his phone rang. The caller ID was another one of his bros. His eyes met mine, and he hesitated. I asked, do I need to leave the room? Nolan forced a smile and answered the phone. The other end sounded noisy. Nolan, you sober yet? We're on for the pool party today. Don't be late. The man lowered his voice slightly. Lainey said if you dare to show up, she'll wear her 3-point bikini. A woman's laughing scold could be heard in the background. Lainey snatched the phone back. Nolan, are you coming or not? And we all agreed. None of the guys are bringing their wives today. Nolan stared at me, his face a mess of panic. Lainey's voice echoed from the phone. Hello, Nolan. Are you there? Are you still asleep or something? I laughed softly into the receiver. Your Nolan is wide awake. He's just so excited he's been struck speechless. The other end of the line went quiet. Then, a flurry of rustling sounds. The bro who called was out of breath as sister-in-law. We were just joking around. Don't take it seriously. Nolan cut him off. Grow up. Don't call me with this nonsense again. He hung up the phone. He held up a hand. I swear, honey, I will absolutely not mess around with them for 3 straight days. Nolan was practically glued to my side. Even at the office, he'd video call me once an hour, desperately trying to prove he wasn't running around. On the 4th day, my meeting was interrupted again. I declined his video call and replied, you don't need to report your every move to me anymore. I didn't type the second part of the message. A truly innocent person rarely feels the need to put on such a theatrical display of loyalty. He sent back a very pathetic-looking sticker, a pink kitten. Nolan had never used one before. The project meeting with our new client was at the Cascades Manor, the most iconic waterside resort in the state. I was going over the proposal. Through the white wooden fence, I could hear cheers from the other side. In the pool, men were scattered about. A woman in a barely there 3-point bikini was blindfolded, fumbling around until she finally grabbed someone. They roared, dare, dare, dare. Didn't Lainey say she plucked Nolan's hair? Do it again. Let's see it. The screams were piercing. Lainey's arms wrapped around his neck. Nolan, this group of guys is so classless. What should we do? The atmosphere was both charged and intimate. I walked over and politely kicked open the wooden gate. A professional body waxer costs $200 an hour. Need a referral? When Lainey saw me, she gasped and let go of Nolan. Everyone in the pool froze. One of the bros tried to make small talk. Wifey, what are you doing here? Lainey scrambled to grab a towel from the poolside, covering herself. Frantically, what is going on? I thought we all agreed no one was bringing their wives. Nolan, treading water, scrambled towards the edge. It's not what you think. I stood still, a single, curious question popping into my head. Miss Sutton, within a 100-foot radius, besides you, I'm the only other woman here. What exactly are you covering yourself from? It's not like Nolan and I actually did anything. She's just so possessive. She might as well attach him to her hip with a leash. Now she's even tracking him. Through the glass wall of the lounge, Lainey's voice was loud and filled with a sense of utter injustice. Nolan frowned. Someone outside finally covered her mouth. Complete silence. He sat down in front of me, his body perched on the very edge of the sofa, his calves tensed into a tight curve. Honey, I spoke, let's get a divorce. His voice caught in his throat. He stared at me in disbelief. Corinne, what did you just say? I said, divorce. I'm making room for you and that simple-minded girl. He grabbed my hand, his voice urgent. Don't say things you don't mean. I can explain what happened today. The party, you saw it, didn't you? We were just playing a game. I remained silent. His Adam's apple bobbed. Everyone was there. So many people. No matter how wild I might be, I wouldn't have done anything. Honey, don't you trust me? The room was still. Only